Hi, class. Right now, we're going to start moving into chapter 5, and this is called Contortions of Space. And it's a really interesting chapter. And so, what's going on? So, most objects in our everyday world are more or less rigid, right? Like you think of cars, buildings, and tables are of a fixed size and shape. Consequently, the common building blocks we use to describe the shapes in our world include the firm templates of the straight line, triangle, circle, and sphere. However, some objects in our world do bend, stretch, and distort. Think of like rubber bands, water beds, or even our waistlines. It's really cool. We'll actually talk about something called rubber geometry in this section. So, in our mind's eyes, we can imagine the rigid objects of our worlds as stretchable and amorphic. That gives us a whole new potential reality to explore. In such an unreasonably contortable universe, we discover things that surprise and amuse us. These discoveries lead us to new insight into our real world, including unraveling some of the mysterious behaviors of DNA, the stuff of life itself. Okay, so we begin our exploration of contortable space through some classic examples of flexible possibilities, including removing a stretchable vest without taking off one's coat. That'll actually be in section 5.1. That'll be the first example I show you. Such examples lead us to the notion of equivalence by distortion. This idea of equivalence captures some geometrical aspects of objects, but is far more flexible than the rigid equivalence of congruence that is discussed in high school geometry. Some features of objects do not change with bending or stretching, and it is these we describe and explore. And it's a very interesting chapter. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cover these four sections. Section 5.1, we'll talk about rubber sheet geometry. Section 5.2, we'll talk about the band that wouldn't stop playing. Section 5.3, we'll do knots and links. And Section 5.4, we'll do fixed points, hot loops, and rainy days. And what'll be a little bit different from my previous sections is I'll include some supplementary videos for you to watch, as well as my additional lectures. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know.